Hey there, happy 2023. This is my first YouTube video of 2023, and I'm really excited to be here. And we are going to talk about a lot of fun things this month and learn all about you in the process. So, what we want to talk about today? Well, we're coming off of the holiday season, which is a really joyful time to spend with family. But for a lot of mothers, neurodivergent people, entrepreneurs, it can be a time of great stress. There's a lot of things going on, trying to wrap up things for the year. We tend to forget about all the things that are important to us as a person. We get overwhelmed by all the wrapping of presents and places we have to be in family logistics. So I actually really love to take the time after Christmas and before New Year's, or I should say after Hanukkah and before New Year's, as my family celebrates both, to kind of take myself out of the business aspect of things and really look at the personal goals for the year. If this is you, if you are ready to kind of look at the pieces of your life that aren't specifically business related, but still use some business tools to help facilitate that and keep that top of mind, then this is the YouTube video that you should watch today. And I can't wait to get into it a little bit more. My name is Anna of Anna's Simple Solutions. I am a ClickUp and Airtable expert, and I work with overwhelmed neurodivergent individuals and business owners to help digitally organize and streamline their life using ClickUp and Airtable, which are two of the best tools that I know of to really tie everything within a business into one easily understandable place and free up all your time. So let us jump into the planning aspect of what we're talking about today. Something I really want to make clear is that planning your life is not just about setting goals. As a systems person, I typically don't like to set goals in the, classic sense where you set this goal and you make sure that you hit it, and there's really no emphasis on how you actually get to that goal. Yes, I want to make sure I get more healthy and fit. Sound like a New Year resolution, anyone? But it's the not looking at what the habits need to be created that actually keeps people from keeping those resolutions or keeping those goals. So one of the really important things that I look at when I'm planning my goals is really kind of deciding what is it in my life that I want to improve, and what are the actual reasonable steps that I can take to do that and actually create habits around it. So it's not just a goal. It is something that I can continue to work for my entire life. I'm forgetting who talked about the improving of 1% every day, but that's really what I think about when I am setting up my goals and the habits that I will create to actually reach them. One of the exercises that I like to do, and I challenge you to do as well, is sit down and write what your perfect day would be. And I'm not talking about a perfect day when you're on vacation or a perfect day, when everyone's waiting on you hand and foot. What is your perfect day doing something that you love? What time would you get up in the morning? How much time would you spend with your family? What are those things that you want to do and you could actually still continue your business or your life's passion within that day? So journal about that. Really think about what those things are. And what you'll find out is that the values that we've talked about in previous videos are going to come forth and going to really shape what you want your perfect day to be. Now, I want to talk about the difference between what a goal is and what an intention is. So a goal is actually something that can be achieved. So for instance, let's say I set a goal that I'm going to read one book, one historical book or biography about someone very interesting every month. Perhaps the actual intention behind that goal is to be more educated about our history or be more educated about the great thinkers around the world in the 19th or 20th century. That is the actual intention behind it because I want to gain more knowledge, but there is nothing measurable about that goal. There is something measurable about reading one biography every month. So the difference between the goal and the intention is the intention is something that really kind of is a part of your perfect day. I want to be an individual who gathers more information versus I want to read a biography every month. So kind of have to understand those as we go into this, because I will be talking about it when we go into the Airtable database for this. And another thing I want to mention, the third thing before we go into this, is breaking down your goals into subcategories and only working on one or two of them at a time for 12 weeks. So one of my favorite books is The 12-Week Year. Hold on. One of my favorite books is The 12-Week Year by Brian Moran. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I will look it up because it is a really great framework for how to actually achieve goals in a short amount of time and really center your focus on them. And so you can actually start to really put those habits in your life. So that said, this kind of taking that mentality when setting these up is what I did. So if you are familiar with that, this will really make sense once we go into Airtable. One more thing before we go into this. When you think about your goals for your personal life, I want you to think about it in terms of self-care, personal health, financial, which is somewhat business related, but also your personal financial life, and creative, because we all know we need a creative outlet in order to really experience life to the fullest. So without further ado, I'm going to hop into Airtable and show you how I do it, and then how you can get this template in order to start setting your personal goals and see them through to fruition at the end of the 12 weeks. So this is the template that I have created for goal setting, and you'll see there's lots of pieces of it, and you can use all of it or just a little bit of it, but it is actually available through the free version of Airtable, so you don't need to actually purchase the Airtable in order to actually use it, which is really awesome. So first thing, I have a form in here to make this really easy. Actually, you can actually fill in to add your goals to this. So I'm going to click Open Form real quick, just so you can see how this works. Another great aspect of Airtable is that you can create forms in order to control the data entry that goes into it. And this is one of those instances. So a SMART goal, and we always look at goals as SMART goals. Granted, it's to create habits, like I said, but having goals that are measurable actually help get us there. A SMART goal is a specific statement that can be measured, achieved, and relevant to your values and time-bound to keep you on track. So let's look at our personal health. Let's say I want to make sure that I can do 50 push-ups by the end of the 12 weeks. So I'm going to say 50 push-ups by end of 12 weeks. All right. This would be a personal health category. Is this goal specific? Yes. The next couple questions I have in here to make sure that the goal is actually hitting all of those SMART indicators. And this kind of leads you towards that. How will you measure this goal? Count number of push-ups I can do at the end of every week. Is the goal achievable in the next 3 months? I think it is. And how will this goal relevant to your intentions long-term vision? So my long-term vision is to be as healthy as possible. When will this goal be achieved? Let's say it's January 1st, so I'm going to go all the way out to March 31st and call that. What year will be this completed? 2023. And I have this separated in quarters just to make it a little bit easier to divide and conquer, so to speak, and be able to look at these historically later on. So week of planning period, what week of the quarter do you plan on completing this task? Well, I plan on completing it in week 12. And then you can also email yourself a copy of the response. So I'm going to submit this. Great. We're going to go back to the main one here and go to overview, because this is where everything kind of fits together. Okay, you can see I already had 2 goals in here, and this is the one that we just put in. You'll notice that there is an intention here. So as talking about the intentions before, having goals relate to intentions is really good, because that means that it's really part of your values in your life. So it is empty here because we didn't fill it out with a form, but we can add it when we go back in and see which one it aligns with. So we're going to actually feel healthy and energetic. So that's in there. We have all the dates in here. And then we have a couple more here. So I want to go and says what steps here. We didn't answer this because this is something that takes a little bit more time. I suggest doing this after you kind of set all of your goals. I would think about 2 to 3 per month or so. So you should have no more than 6 goals or 6 kind of habits and areas that you're trying to achieve within the first 12 weeks. Because if you add too much on, there's only so much time in a day. So these are really achievable things. So 50 push-ups, end of 12 weeks. We have the achieved, and these are the projects to achieve. So I added another piece in here so you can actually see how the steps that you'll need to actually achieve these goals. And this is how you're going to create these habits. I'm not going to go through these views right now because everything is in this overview. And if you get this template, you'll be able to see what all of these are. But I'm going to hop over to the projects to achieve these goals and use something that we've already done. So I had set a goal of walk 2 miles every day. And then I thought, okay, what are the steps that I need to make sure that I will be able to do this by the end of the 12 weeks? And those steps are find time on my calendar to go walking, purchase heart monitor or app that measures how far I walk, get comfortable walking shoes or weather appropriate attire so that makes sure I have nothing standing in the way of me walking. I can't have an excuse like I don't have shoes that work. Walk at least 4 times a week. So these are all the steps that I need to follow in order to do it. To do this next step, you would just go in and copy all these and then go over to the projects to achieve goals. And I'm just going to paste them in here. It's going to say expand the table. And what happened is it added up to the end here. So this is basically all the things that I need to do and what the things that I needed to do in order to reach those goals. So it's tracking. It's actually giving us accountability, which is the great thing about this. I'm going to delete these real quick because they're already on this list. And what happens when you do that, here we go, walk 2 miles every day, is once you add these to the list, so let me delete these just so you can see what I'm talking about here. These are all linked files or linked records from in a different table, which is one of the cool things about Airtable. I'm going to add walk 2 miles every day. That is the goal. 2 miles every day. 2 miles every day. So these are all hooked together. Takes a couple minutes. You could actually go and copy and paste it to the next one just to make it really easy. And then you can actually look at the status for these. So, okay, these are all in progress. I found time on my calendar. It just keeps you accountable. And then if you go back to the goal sheet here, you can actually see projects to achieve. It has them all associated here. So you can actually just double click in here and it'll tell you what they are. And once you actually have them updated here, it will actually go, and I created a formula in here that says these are the number of tasks related to it. So there's 5 tasks there, how many tasks are complete, and what percentage complete there are. I'm actually going to go and go to level of completeness so you don't actually have to worry about seeing all the other stuff. And this actually will tell you all that information right here. So this walk 2 miles every day is 25% complete. And this creative category is 100% complete. So go to singing lessons 1 time a week. That was a lot in a short amount of time. And I realize that. If you want to see more of how this is put together, if you're interested in how Airtable actually works behind the scenes, or you want to use this for your goal setting or to work through some of the projects that you have personally in your life, feel free to click the link below and get this. I also am including a mini training with it as well. And that way you will be able to see all of the pieces from what I talked about earlier to the end of this. And so you can get that link below. I would love to hear what your goals are and what habits you are trying to create for this year. I'm always looking for certain things to include as questions within my YouTube, so please feel free to put them below or tell me what habits you are trying to create this year and how you are doing that. In the meantime, I wish you, again, a really happy new year. Make sure that you are doing your planning wisely, and as always, keep it simple.